part of our ENCORE Connect portal, you would access our training center. Now, we're really excited about this. This is something new we're rolling out in and of itself. But what this is it's a catalog of over 200 training courses that you have access to deliver training to your employees. This is everything from forklift training to safety training to OSHA training to housekeeping to, you name it. There's over 200 courses in there, and you can monitor participation. So you select which employees you want to take this class and you assign them that class. And then once they take it, you can monitor that they finished it and they actually receive a certification that they are done with the course. You can set end dates. So they have to take it by September 1st, and it will alert them if they're late on that. It'll send them emails. And so it's a really robust system that you can use to get, again, a lot of the training you might already be purchasing from somewhere or are finding through other sources will be built right in here to this online portal. And so that's where I'm going to turn it over to Andy to kind of demo and walk through this a little bit so that we can see that online portal and the actual education training center. And so I'll just remind everybody before I kick it over to Andy to certainly do the raise hand function or submit any questions you might have, especially as we go through this demo piece, so we make sure that we provide any clarity around that stuff as we need to. So.
Okay, well, this is a scary proposition because now I am going to take control of the technology. So bear with me, everyone. I will work on sharing my desktop and then I will pull up a few different things. So hopefully, Elliot, give me a verbal because I can't see you. There you go. Good. Okay. All right. So as Elliot mentioned, there's a couple things we're going to go over here. One of which is the ENCORE Connect client portal. That is what I'm showing right now. I'm in there in our kind of fake company we have set up, so you can see that it welcomes me under my name. But this would be the home page as you come in. Now, some of our clients and maybe some of you out there are going to recognize the name Xywave. That is the company that we that builds the technology, and we have made the investment in pretty much the entire suite of their platform so that we can bring it to our clients and to members of the network here. So it may be something you have potentially seen some stuff from in the past, but it's going to be pretty robust in the way it's delivered here. So as I said, here's the client portal. So this is the home page. I'm just going to touch on a few things, and then I'll jump into a couple searches and pull up a couple things. But you're always going to have kind of up-to-date content. Obviously, the coronavirus being a hot topic right now, you can imagine there's a lot of that. That's what's going to show up here. This app section is going to show you some of the recent stuff. I'm going to talk about the OSHA log a little bit, and we're going to talk about the training center, which they call their learning management system. But it'll show you things you've recently used, etc. It's also going to develop smart content. So the system learns based on your industry and some of the things that you're looking up over time. It's going to try to deliver relevant content, both from a property casualty or a benefits perspective to you right here. And then just down here are some different pertinent tiles that you can click on and search through content specific to these different areas. I'll move Elliot out of the way for you, but you can see the different tiles that you can click through. So that's what the home page looks like. But I mentioned searching. When one of the things that we've talked about in this is that when we ask our safety professionals to go out and get content, who knows where they're going? I mean, they may be going to some industry associations and things of that nature, which are great, or maybe they're going to other professionals and such, but they also might just be Googling it and, how reliable is some of that information and such. So this kind of becomes the Google function, if you will, within the portal. And so when you're searching something in here, you're going to get directed content that's been scrubbed and put into the platform. So as an example, I'm going to search safety manual. I type that in, I go ahead and search it, and here we go. Boom. It's going to pop up a lot. Matter of fact, 66 pages worth of stuff that hit on safety manual. But specifically, it's going to give us safety manuals. And I mentioned earlier, I'm in, and you saw it welcome me as Andy. I'm in under our fake company, but if you're in under your company, it is all going to be branded to you, as Elliot said. So if we go to, say, a site operations safety manual, I'm just going to click view. I'm not going to download one, but I just want to give you an idea of the breadth of this. It's going to load all of your information in here, pre-fill it for you, It's going to have a few fillable fields that are specific to information you may want to put in there on your own. But you can see it's pretty robust. I mean, this is the table of contents right here that's going to walk through everything that's going to be in this safety manual. And as you go, I could click through the 49 pages. I'm not going to, but point is you can see that as a safety manual, that's pretty robust. So that's a common thing people are searching for in here.
And if you'll see on there, Andy, that where it says that C_official name, that would be the name of your company inserted every time that says that. And then if there is a field for a contact at your company, it would include the safety professional or whomever you've given us that would automatically pull that info in.
That's exactly right. Yep, good point. All right, so I'm going to go back home and I'm going to do another search up here on something that is very common, which is Elliot keeps mentioning toolbox talks, and the system kind of refers that to as safety matters, but it's going to pull up all sorts of different content. So if our safety leaders are looking for toolbox talks type stuff, go in and search safety matters, and we're going to get a plethora of different subjects. They're going to be easy one-page deals that can be gone over quickly, could be put in payroll stuffers or in people's files or whatever, and you can see there's 69 pages worth of content here. The beauty of it is you can narrow that down a little bit. So, Elliot said, or I guess I should spell right, but anyway, you can see, right? You can see if I had typed it right, but
yeah, you may go up and just retype that.
It'll narrow it. Yeah, there you go. There we go. There, ladder safety, as I mentioned to, not ladder, whatever that would be. So ladder safety, if we want to narrow it down to ladders as an example, it's going to give us that, or maybe it's forklift. I'll just type the word fork, but we can get in here and see. I didn't nail it down as much as we want, but point is you can get in there and dial it down. So there's forklift safety. But that's what's really cool is if you have a specific topic or you're meeting with a specific department in your organization and you want it to be relevant to them, you can nail down and search hopefully more accurately than I did and pull content specific to that. Other thing I wanted to click on is, while this is primarily around safety, I want to point out that when you have access to the portal, it's a lot more than just safety. There is a ton of human resources content in here. So I want to click on this and just kind of give you just an overview of some of the things that even your human resources professionals could have access to this and go in and check out. And you can see there's a lot of different tools in here. I'm not going to launch any of them for the sake of time, but really cool stuff they can see in there. Very specific to this conversation, I want to pull up another tool in the portal, which is the OSHA log, near and dear to Mr. Fletcher on the call. This is really cool. Doug, you may comment on this if you want, but many companies, as we know today, are required to keep their log digitally. This platform is going to allow us to do it. I'm not necessarily going to walk through it, but you can record incidents and keep it all right here if you don't have an already accessible platform for easily logging your OSHA recordables. There's a place to do it in the portal. Another really cool thing, I'll click on this just to show you, is it's called the Incident Advisor. And so we have people talk to us all the time about they have an event that occurs and they're not sure whether it's recordable or not. This is a really cool yes/no function that you can click through. Again, I'm not going to walk all the way through it, but if you go through, matter of fact, I'll just get it to kick off here. You're answering yes or no, and the moment that you answer something that says, there we go, yes, OSHA is going to require it to be recorded. So anyway, it's a really cool function in the OSHA log portion of the portal. So Doug, I don't know if you want to add anything to the need for digital recording right now as it sits.
Yeah, we can talk about that in more detail later. The one thing I would add, though, is that if there is an interest in doing so, we can certainly include record-keeping training as one of the things that we do on a webinar, so that not only do you have access to that electronic recording tool, but we can make sure that you have a better understanding of why those things are happening when you say yes or no, and what drives those. So record keeping is probably the thing that I get asked most frequently about. I mean, it's a kind of a challenge for everyone, and so I think between training and having a resource like that, I think we can really reduce some of the frustration with record keeping.
Absolutely. So yeah, so there's a few of the functions in the portal. I don't want to go through everything, and I'm not going to continue to search, certainly when I'm misspelling things. So I'll jump to the next topic, which we discussed already, which is the learning management system, or our ENCORE Connect, or our ENCORE training, education training center. And that is, I've already got pulled up. So I want to just show that from an administration standpoint. So again, I'm in under our fake company that we've set up, but it'll walk you through what is this system designed to do. So I'm in not as an employee, but rather as an administrator. So many of the folks on this call, or obviously your safety professionals, could be those that are administering the training to our employees. And so what's that do, or what's it mean? Essentially, I'm just going to touch on a few of these things here. I'll show the catalog and then we'll kind of move on. But this first part is when you have courses assigned to employees, you're at any moment going to have a snapshot of what's going on. We're going to see we have some that are past due. These are, again, this is just fake stuff that we set up in ours, but you could have 10 of these, or it could be 100 of these. It'll show you past due, it'll show you what's due this week, and it's going to show you what's due this month in a quick snapshot. You can click on any of these and it's going to pull up exactly what's going on. So if we want to see who's past due, we're going to be able to see what and who is not completed and what the due date was. So you can see here, I apparently didn't complete scissor lift operation safety on the 5th of August. So my administrator is going to know that and is going to be able to follow up with me and address that if we need to. It's going to show what's open. So these are the things that are coming up. And then if we didn't put due dates on things, we could pull that up and such. And then in this case, we didn't have any completed, but at any moment you can go in and see who's completed what from a training standpoint. So that is,
Andy, I'll add something to that. As you can see, we added that a little over a week ago, so on the 5th. And so every day since the 5th, I have gotten a notification letting me know that I did not complete my training. So it does automatically on a daily basis ping your employee to say, hey, this is overdue. You need to get in and complete this.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I'll just jump down to here then. So if an employee's in there, or you as the administrator are supposed to take training, you'll have the option to take your training. I can't do it here because it's not set up that way. But to Elliot's point, when we assign these to our employees, they're going to get a notification initially to go ahead and log in, create a username and password, and be able to get in. And then they're going to have a whole dashboard of their own. We've seen it, obviously, that shows what courses they have to take and are do. And they just click through them, whether they're on their computer or smartphone or whatever. They click on it, they take the courses. If they have to get out of the course for any reason, it should restart where they left off. And then when they complete the course, they have to take a quick quiz on most of them, and then a certificate is generated. And that's this area right here. We don't have certificates in this fake company, but understand that if you needed to generate the proof of these courses for your employees, you would click generate certificates, and you could go in and click the proof of the courses they've completed, whether you're going to keep that in their employee file, or if you had an incident arise, whether it's OSHA related or otherwise, and you felt you needed to have some documentation to show the things you're doing, it is very easily pulled right there. Manage employees, I'll show this real quick because as the administrator, you'd be able to go in here, and we only have a couple of employees set up, but I want to point one thing out. This is where you'd administer them. You can put them into groups, so you could have them grouped as by department or however you want to group them. That would be here. And then what's really cool, I'm not going to do it, but you can import employees. So there's an Excel document that can be completed with your employee, kind of almost like a census, and you just would import it here, and then it's going to fill them all in for you, so you don't have to go in and do the manual entry all the way through. But yeah, that you're going to be able to do that. And the other function here is going to be manage groups. We don't have any set up in here, but again, if you had a group of employees that you wanted to have take the forklift training or take cybersecurity training or whatever it is, you could kick that out in mass to that group with a single date of completion and things of that nature. So pretty cool. That is, at any point you can see the course catalog. I'm going to pull it up in the piece we put together as well. But this will just right here, you could search through the 13 pages worth of catalog content to see what all the courses are. You could do it by category here. I will also hopefully successfully pull up. Can you see that, Elliot? All right.
Yes. Yep.
So this is our ENCORE Education Training Center catalog we've put together, and it can show you, Again, the catalog, we can provide this for anybody on the call, just reach out, but it'll show all of the table of contents is essentially the topics. And then when you get into each one, it's going to give you a quick synopsis of each of the courses, tell you how long they are, tell you what languages they're in, because some will be in, like this one right here is in English and Spanish, if that's something that's needed. But anyway, you can go through and you can see, as we've mentioned, this is a safety-based conversation right now primarily, but it's not all safety content, as you can see as I click through here. So depending on what access you may have here, there is some diversity of courses, if you will. So I don't know, Elliot, did I miss something that is worth
No, I was gonna add a couple things though, because I think it's important to note. Obviously, everybody on this call wants to get their employees the training they need and have them take that training and stuff. But tying it back, we talked about always thinking about that return on investment with some of these things. And Doug, you could maybe even hit on this a little bit, but when you think about, say you have an incident and OSHA comes to investigate that incident, you have the ability in here to go in and say, yes, that incident happened, but here's the training that we've delivered to that employee about this particular topic. And so at least that OSHA inspector knows, that you have been, as the employer, doing your best job at getting your employees the training that they need to operate a safe environment. And that goes a long ways. That can be applied to the insurance side of things as well. But Doug, I don't know if you have any thoughts around that at all.
I would just say that I think that, in large part, that's why learning management systems have become so popular. The documentation and tracking of training, in the old way, the historically on paper or in an Excel spreadsheet, it just is incredibly cumbersome and difficult. And I just think this makes that much more easy and accurate. And as you said, that documentation can be critical if it's ever questioned, or you would have an opportunity to work with OSHA in some fashion. So I think they're tremendously helpful.
Absolutely.
I quit sharing too, Elliot. So if you want to pull anything else up.
Yep. And again, feel free to ask any questions anybody has, but I'll go back to the PowerPoint just to kind of close things out here. So then, how does this all come together? So we've built this into, and we're going to go through them specifically in the details today, but we've built this into kind of 3 different levels, knowing that each, every organization is a little bit different, what they may need in a program like this or in this network. And so we do have a few different options. And one of our risk advisors on our team, whoever you're already working with, or if you're not, you can reach out to one of us 3 and we can get you in touch with the right person on our team, can walk through those and make sure you understand the different levels and can pick the one that fits best for you. One will be more of that kind of a la carte, lower access, I guess, at a lower cost, and then all the way up to unlimited access for any number of people in the organization and all of those things. So we can help walk through those, and we certainly want to, and answer any questions anybody has around that. But we're really excited to get it out. We would love for a couple of brave souls that want to join immediately, and we'll certainly take that into account on some of those packaging and the pricing to really get some momentum behind this, because we think that the true value comes when we have kind of that critical mass of safety professionals in this that are able to collaborate. And so we really want to make it accessible. We want to get people in there right away from the start that are those like-minded individuals that can share what's working, can help each other become better organizations.